Good morning, everyone. I'm Joe Lopano, the CEO of Tampa International Airport. And like many others in Florida, we've been tracking this storm very closely. It's a very dangerous system. And of course, as a critical infrastructure for the state, we're going to do our best to stay open as long as possible to support the citizens of the Tampa Bay region. However, with the storm and the intensity of the winds, we will close today at 5 p.m. That's 5 p.m. today, no more commercial flights. Airlines are already canceling flights, moving airplanes to safer places, and you should always check before you come out here in case your flight's been canceled. Right now, our priority is to protect our employees and our facilities. And after the storm passes, we'll be focused on reopening and reconstituting the airport. And we recognize the importance of this asset in order to have the community recover as quickly as possible. Tampa is resilient, and the rest of the Tampa Bay area is resilient as well. We think that we're taking every precaution we can, and we're doing everything we can to keep everyone safe. So having said all that, at this time I'd like to bring up our Evp of Operations, John Tiliakis.
Good morning, and thank you all for being here. My name is John Tiliakis, and I'm the Executive Vice President of Airport Operations and Customer Service here at Tampa International Airport. As an airport, safety is at the core of everything we do here at TPA, and our team has been planning and executing all that we need to do to prepare for Hurricane Ian's arrival. Our top priority, of course, is the safety of all of our airport employees here at TPA and our passengers. We have a team of storm riders made up of about 120 employees that will ride out the storm. We have trained for this sort of an event. We have planned and we've put all of the measures in place that we believe we need to put in place to be as prepared as we can. We've been working closely with our airlines, as you heard from Mr. Lopano, our tenants, federal, state, and local partners. In addition, our team is in the process of securing our airfield and terminal facilities, and we will continue that process throughout the day today and overnight tonight until our last departure at 5 p.m. As you know, Tampa International Airport is extremely close to Tampa Bay, and storm surge and flooding are obviously a top concern for us. If you consider that we may face 10 to 15 feet of storm surge, 15 to 20 inches of rain, 3 to 5 feet of high tide, and we're talking potentially a lot of water that could be on our airport. At 5 p.m. today, Tampa International Airport will be closed to all passengers and guests as we continue to make final preparations overnight to protect our facilities. I'd like to remind the public that the airport is not a shelter. We do not have the resources to serve as a shelter for vehicles and people during a hurricane, so please do not come to the airport after 5 o'clock today. Do not bring your vehicle to the airport. Those looking for available shelter space should visit their respective county websites for that information. Once the storm has passed, our team will conduct a damage assessment of our airfield and terminal facilities and determine whether we can reopen immediately or whether we have issues that we need to address as a result of the hurricane's impact. Our goal, of course, is to reopen our airport as quickly as possible, but we need to make sure that we do that safely. We also urge our passengers who have questions about flights to contact their airlines directly. We only manage the reopening of the facility of our airport and not airline flight schedules. And finally, I'd like to thank our local community and federal partners and the many members of our emergency management, airport operations, police, and maintenance teams who've been working around the clock, working very hard, very diligently to prepare for this hurricane. And at this time, we'd be happy to answer any questions about our preparations or operations here at Tampa International.
So when you're a water event, Lauren, what are you really concerned about? Towers and ceilings? Is it the airplane or aircraft that next to be here?
Well, it's certainly going to be a combination of wind and water. Perhaps our biggest concern is the water that may impact the airport. We obviously have a very complex, very robust drainage system throughout our facilities that we maintain on a regular basis, and we've made sure those drains are clear, and We have the ability to bring in equipment as well as use our own equipment to help move that water. But you know, that water largely depends on what's happening in the bay, as close as we are to the bay, right? To my knowledge, we have never had a storm of this magnitude that has impacted us. Yes, sir.
What happens to the passengers that are traveling that maybe get stuck here at 5 o'clock? And do you have an idea of how many flights are going to be affected?
So we have approximately 450 flights a day that will be impacted. So we close at 5 o'clock tonight. Most of our operation will be done for the day by then, but of course you have tomorrow and Thursday with no flights.
What happens to the passengers that are maybe stuck in transit?
And passengers that may be stuck here at the airport, we will get them to a nearby shelter.
You guys can talk about it. This is such a constant place, stuff that's going on constantly. I remember in 2017 when you guys stopped air travel. It's a scary, eerie sight. Can you talk about what's it like when everything's shut down and nothing's going on?
Sure. Yeah, I would agree with you. I stayed here during that storm and rode it out here at the terminal. It's pretty eerie to see nothing going on, hardly anyone in the terminal, very dark outside. So, you know, that's all part of being here in Florida. We're ready for it. It's not going to be fun, but we're going to do the best we can to make it a successful operation.
Yeah, I wish I had a magic answer for you. Once the storm has passed and it is safe for our damage assessment team to get out onto the airfield to survey our terminal facilities, roadways, the parkway, we'll be able to determine the condition of the airport at that time and make a decision on how soon we can reopen. As you heard from Mr. Lopano, we're a critical infrastructure. We play a big part in moving passengers, freight, mail, and we want to get open as quickly as we can, but we want to do that safely.
A little perspective on 120 storm riders. What kind of training do they go through? Are these guys volunteers, riding gals, or volunteers, or what do they have to do?
Yes, they are all volunteers, all employees of ours at the Aviation Authority, and hurricane planning is something that we plan and exercise every year. As we do many other contingencies, we do that throughout the year, all year, and we're about as prepared as we can be for Ian.
Any idea what the economic impact is for shutting down for possibly?
Yeah, so the question was about the economic impact of shutting down. It's in the millions, and unfortunately, Ian is not giving us a choice. And so we'll just make it as painless as we can, open as quickly as we can, depending, as John said, on the severity of the storm, and we'll resume from there.
Absolutely. Depending on what the storm surge does at high tide, the amount of rain we get, we could potentially see flooding on our airfield beginning on the west side of the airfield.
This airport isn't able to open in a timely manner. Safety is closed as well. How do you get goods in and out? Something unique.
So that's part of the assessment we'll make once the storm has passed. We may find ourselves in a position of being able to open the airfield for essential flights, cargo flights, emergency flights, air evac, but not able to open the terminal. So that'll be part of the assessment and the decisions we make post-storm.
Have you seen an influx of travelers today? Does it seem like people are flying out back to the
We have, yeah. Beginning on Monday, in fact, we saw our passenger numbers tick up quite a bit.
Can you sort of talk about the importance of people realizing that this is not a shelter, and that they need to figure out where that safe place is?
Yeah, great question. As I alluded to in my remarks, the airport is not a shelter. We don't want anyone that doesn't need to be out here at the airport because we don't have the ability to respond with emergency services, right? So at 5 o'clock today, please do not come to the airport. Do not bring your vehicle to the airport either.
Is the terminal hurricane-proof? A directive from when?
Our facilities are rated for Category 4 hurricane. So we believe that from a facility standpoint, we're well positioned.
Training for the 120 storm riders. What do they train specifically for? Fire during the hurricane?
So the storm riders are uniquely qualified in their areas of expertise. So as an example, electricians, plumbers that work here every day will come out as storm riders in case they're needed during the storm. So it's not special training. It is what they're good at, but we need them here so we can get the lights back on and get the plumbing working.
How big a role do you think they would play in keeping this place back open? Even things outside like the airfield and the roads getting in and out of the airport.
Yeah, I can't say enough for our storm riders. They leave their families and come here to make sure that the airport can reopen as quickly as possible and keep our facilities safe. So they are really, really very dedicated people. I will be here riding the storm with the other folks, and I'll do what's needed to be done.
What about the people who evacuated? If they left their cars here, will their cars be all right here? Or they need to have somebody come get their cars?
The cars that are parked here, passenger cars that are parked here, are in our garages, in our parking structures. They'll be fine. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.